Waves crash on the beach of an endless sea. In them you hear a voice, a beckoning lure you have heard so many times before. It is the song of the horizon. She calls to you. She sings of endless wonders and untold horrors, of golden promises and dire warnings, and you know her song. It has always been there. Listen, can you hear it? The wind is in your favor, the tide is rising, the sea is yours for the taking, and your ship awaits. Fair winds and following seas, brave mariner. May fortune find you when the horizon calls.
Ahoy and welcome everyone. Welcome to Horizon's Call. We are very glad to be back after missing last week. Sorry about that, but we are excited to have you back here. We're excited to be back here. I'm Derek Sword. I am your GM for this game. I use he, him pronouns. I am joined as always by these very lovely folk. Mikyl, not available at this current moment, but hopefully we will get him back sooner rather than later. So we will we'll say we'll put a little pause on our princely Proximus presently. That felt good. I'm going to go around and have these lovely people say a little bit about themselves, but before we do, I do want to say that you can show a little bit of support monetarily, should you be willing and able to do so, both of those being important qualities together, through tips to this wonderful cast and our crew actually being the cast that you see in front of you, because we do everything around here. You can do that through Pally. Pally.gg is a wonderful tool that we have found where if you tip anything, it gets evenly distributed based on shares between the people that you see here, including the person you don't see here, Mikyl, who did the artwork for this game. So if you tip $5, it gets split 5 ways based on shares. Is that math? Yeah, there's 5 of us. Yeah, that's how that works. You can also impact this game through tips as well. You can give advantages, you can give crits, you can even give complications like black spots, which make things just a little more interesting on my end, a little more difficult on the player's ends, and contractually, if you do so, I have to sing a sea shanty once we hit break. So bear that in mind. We have 2 of them already sitting around because we haven't had... 3 of them already sitting around because we haven't had a good spot to hit those assholes back to back to back. So
does that mean we get a shanty on this one? Because
if I invoke a black spot, then yes. But do you really want one? We'll see. We'll see how things go.
No.
I'm not the kind of GM to just make things harder, and sometimes we're in situations where making things harder isn't narratively interesting or validating, and that is, you know, what we're here to do is tell a story. So I appreciate the tools that you have given me, and I promise to use them at the earliest convenience when it makes for the best story. So thank you all for your tips so far. And should you want to tip at any point, you can do so at any point, even when the game is not playing. It just gets paid forward to whatever the next game would be. So all that said, let's go ahead and go around, have these lovely folks introduce themselves and their characters. Mare, if you don't mind starting us out.
Hi, first I would like to say you are canceled for that alliteration.
It was so good, though. It's worth it. Worth it.
Hello, I am Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I am playing your lovely centaur, star druid, soul knife rogue, Acacia, who uses she, her pronouns, and who is ready to go on the hunt for some hooks.
Absolutely. Next up, Eva.
Hi, hello. I'm Eva. My pronouns are she, her, and today I am playing Winnie, your sea elf, alchemist bard, something, whose pronouns are also she, her. And I am going to be, I guess, trolling taverns and sowing rumors and whatnot. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. We'll find out.
That's true. That's true. We haven't done it yet. Thank you, Eva. Next up would typically be Mikyl. Again, special thank you to Mikyl for the artwork that he has done for this campaign, from any of the campaigns you see here on Sword and Key. You can follow him primarily to see his artwork on Instagram at MIKYL SANDVAL. So heavily recommend checking him out there. And then last but absolutely not least, Kaila.
Hi, hello. My name is Kaila. I use she, her pronouns. I play our Siren Storm Sorcerer Scarlett Shores, who also uses she, her pronouns, and has a very interesting meeting that I'm only a little scared to get to today.
I wouldn't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. We, I believe, have a recap prepared by the very little Eva herself. So, whenever you are ready, the floor is yours.
Do we, or are we doing this stand-in intro?
Oh, I was just saying I should have done Michael's intro. Like I did.
Can you roll your R's like he does for Proximus?
Proximus. Yeah, I can roll my
Yeah.
R's.
That's good. That's good. Okay, I think that's all we're going to get. So, yes, Eva, please, take it away.
I'll do it another time next time he's out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Gotta practice.
Yes. Well, we all reconvened because I guess we'd been split up at one point. But we all reconvened at the arena where there was some sort of, I guess you could call it blood sport, which isn't really a good time. But it was me, Weenie, and Little Jeffrey, and Acacia, and Scarlett, and Proximus, and Connery, I guess, for some reason, and Marcus. Yeah. And I guess we were just gonna sit around and eat popcorn, like everyone else did, except that, there was a Pegasus, like, all tied up in the middle of the arena, which wasn't very nice, and there was an owlbear, and there was a chimera, and a manticore. Manticores and chimeras are completely different creatures, but for some reason, I can only keep one in my head at a time. I don't keep them in your head, like they are their own autonomous beings. It was basically bear baiting, but if a bear was 3 different creatures, that were, one of them was also 3 different creatures. It's sort of a fractal 3 different creatures. It's 3 different creatures all the way down. Yeah, so we decided we didn't want that to happen. Or most of us did anyway. And so we started to be a little sneaky about trying to get the Pegasus out without being caught ourselves. Long story short, we did it. But we weren't alone. Everyone did really sneaky cool stuff. There was a fog cloud, and there was... Okay, well, Scarlett kind of sat there for the first half, but she came clutch in the end. The real Scarlett. We'll get to that in a second. Proximus had a griffin with him the whole time. Which I forgot about, or I don't even know if I knew, but boom, griffin. That's handy. I just have a little Jeffrey, who was very helpful, don't get me wrong, but like, he doesn't just appear out of nowhere. Anyway, longer story even shorter, I stuck all the upset, angry creatures into my Mirror of Life trapping. Some of them are a little worse for wear, but I'm sure they'll be fine in the end. And we were gonna free the Pegasus, except Scarlett, old Scarlett, well, not old Scarlett, but like younger Scarlett. Okay, not our Scarlett, but a different... Okay, so... It was real confusing. But like, Scarlett from like 3 years ago... out of game time. I forgot how long it was in game time. Anyway.
Like 2 years, I think.
Eula era Scarlett was there, but also current Scarlett was there at the same time. And a not very good fake Proximus was there. Proximo, I think, is what everyone was calling him, as they should have done. And they were trying to free the Pegasus too, which is good, because otherwise we might have accidentally killed him or something if they were like real mean, like. But they weren't. They were actually pretty cool, and I think we recruited them to our cause. Except they were already fighting for our cause, kind of. It was a thing. Also, it wasn't really Scarlett. Like, I thought maybe there was some sort of time travel thing involved, but there's not. It was just a changeling. No.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, changing. So anyway, Elucidate and Garth are their real names, and they're our friends now, and we put them on a ship back to Ascension Isle and Phoenix Landing, and best of luck, I guess, to both them and the island. So that brings us up to, like, right now, this moment, and I think Proximus is going to bed, which is fine. It seems to be evening time. I'm gonna go hope I have some spell slots left and go hang out in some taverns and maybe get a beer or something. Acacia's something about plot hooks is all I really know. I don't know what Scarlett's. She's probably off with Marcus, like, doing, like, important people stuff. I don't know. Don't look like what? Like, okay, boning. I could say that too, but no. Boss type stuff. Let's just say that. Anyway. I don't know what I'm talking to you about. Like, I got stuff to go do. Go on, get. Someone stop me for the love of God.
Yeah, I'm just taking the microphone away from you at this point. Yeah. Great job, question mark. Enjoy your inspiration.
Oh, I
period.
will.
Yeah. However tainted that inspiration might be at this point. Okay, let's pick up pretty much right where you all left off. It is evening in the city of Dalia, the capital city of the island you're on, Karina, which I forgot for just a moment. You all have essentially settled down, not necessarily settled down. You all have prepared for the evening as the night has fallen over this somewhat desert city on this otherwise desert, somewhat tropical island. It's not totally barren here. It has its trees, it has its oases, and you are right by the ports. There are a lot of fruits and trees and vegetables and everything that can grow in this very large city to sustain its population. But as night falls and the sands begin to cool, Proximus, as mentioned, has decided to get some rest after the rather long and somewhat tumultuous day that you all have had. Meanwhile, a few of you have had some plans to make use of a city at night, a city that tends to come to a different sort of life once the sun goes down. So as the oil lamps are lit and the music begins to play in certain parts of the city, you all have stated some plans here. So,
Sorry,
yeah,
before
ma'am,
we
please.
get back into anything, will we have had time for a short rest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if you all are, you all can kind of say, you want a couple hours before you want to do whatever. It was early evening, I think, when you all did get back, when you were talking to your impersonators. And so, yes, by the time that the sun goes down, you could have easily had a short rest. You could probably take a long rest, and still have some night, but it would probably be like early morning at that point when you would right before the sun was coming up if you want to take a long rest. Anyway.
So if one were trancing, one would still have a good chunk of the late evening?
How long do you have to trance for? 4 hours?
4 hours.
Yeah, you could probably trance.
Heck yeah.
You would be getting up to like midnight at that point when you would be going out.
Okay.
Yeah. Which in a city like this, not exactly the worst time. They're not closing the bars till 2. So, as Acacia is looking to gather information about the hooks, as Scarlett is preparing for her meeting with the Raja, as she was told, and as Winnie is looking to go out to the bars, these are 3 separate scenes. Is there anyone who necessarily wants to start out? Otherwise, I will randomly choose. Okay. Kayla's looking to go perhaps second or last. So let's start with Acacia, since I think time-wise, if Winnie's going to be trancing for 4 hours, Acacia is probably one of the first to go out aside from Scarlett. So Acacia,
Sure.
what does your early evening, what does your night look like? What are you looking to do?
First, I would have checked in with my Uncle Marik to see if he had any leads about the hooks.
Yes, absolutely. I am well versed in the underground dealings of this city. I could absolutely set you up with a meeting with some of them on some neutral ground if that is something you had interest in, or I could just tell you where they're hiding out and you can go make a big kerfuffle out of it. Uh,
If you were to set up a meeting, what level of the organization would they be on?
you likely would speak with the main handler of the hooks, the lead fisherman, as they are commonly known, and they would likely bring a few underlings with them.
That'd probably get me more information than a just jumping some random grunts.
It would certainly get, either one would get you information. How reliable that information is, I cannot speak to. Uh, Jumping random grunts will get you probably honest information, but perhaps not um, a lot of it. Talking to the politicians of a thieves guild will get you lots of information. How much of it true is the problem?
Yes. But probably better doing that anyway. Because I don't think a random underling is going to know where other people might be on assignment.
And why make more enemies on your way out of a city anyway? I will send word. I am thinking you are doing this tonight.
Probably. We're leaving as soon as our ship's repairs are done, which I think, Derek, we were told like a day or two.
It was a day. Yeah, you all have literally going to be ready tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're probably leaving tomorrow afternoon, evening, the latest.
Very well. I will send word, and should not take more than an hour or two. Um, if I remember right, I know they're one of their favorite spots for having meetings like this, but I want to double check just in case it does change.
Any advice on how to handle these folks?
Um, don't stand too close to the edge.
Because they might try and push me.
They I have had many dealings with the hooks over the many years, and sometimes they like to send a message. That is one way to do it.
Thankfully, I
I'm
can
sh-
fly, so
then I'm sure you would be fine. With that, he goes and he takes an oil lamp down and actually brushes it off, kind of bronze oil lamp, goes to put oil in it, lights the extended neck of it where the gas of the oil comes out from, and he goes to the back of the shop, opens a wind like the shutters of the window there, and hangs it. We will have word here very shortly.
I'm gonna go get some friends of my own. How many do you think they'll bring?
Typically, any fisherman will bring two underlings, perhaps three.
I'll make sure to bring two very big ones.
All right, then.
All right. I'll come back soon. And then Derek, I'm gonna
yeah,
head back to
please.
the redemption.
Okay. So moving through the streets, again, music is much more vibrant out in the streets here, and like I said, lanterns have been lit. There's a light to the city. There's like very few dark corners. The alleys are dark, but you don't really like even with your perception, don't really notice too many cutthroats out on the main road. That seems to be a well ordered city, and you do note that there are guards out and about, typically 2x2 spears, these kind of conical helmets and lighter bits of armor. They're kind of made to accommodate for both the hot of the day and also the cold of the night. Their lower face is typically obscured, and every now and then you like with your high enough perception, you think to look up and see one of the rock riders just soaring over the streets above as well. Um, Heading back to the Redemption, still being worked on, still in the dry docks. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna look for Connery
Okay. Yes.
first.
Yes. Connery, very much available, has basically taken his evening just to sit on a bench and kind of watch the Redemption where it's dry docked. He is easy enough to find and looks at you as you come trotting up.
Captain.
Is uh, you don't have a title. Acacia. That works. Um, did you need something?
I actually had a favor for you and someone else on the crew if they're nearby and findable. I
All
I need
right.
some large, intimidating people as I go meet with some thieves.
Well, I thought I would have a quiet night, but I'm happy to see that I won't. Uh, who else were you looking to ask for?
Is Honey in?
I'll check. She typically doesn't like to leave the ship, but a place like
Tell her,
this, her,
tell her to bring her cleavers if she's interested.
oh, she'll like that. And he is able to go on the boardwalk which connects the ship where people can kind of work on the top deck. And you even from like where you are outside the ship, you hear just like kind of raised voices. You can't tell what it is, and then you hear like a slam and then another slam, and then you see Honey like almost bounding, like four-legged almost over to you. And you can see that she has taken off her cook's apron. She is wearing this very interesting kind of like almost semi-armored garb, and she like stretches to her full, very intimidating height with this big wide smile of just these horribly fanged teeth on this knoll, this hyena creature. And her ears twitch just a little bit, and she looks down at you and she goes,
Wait, how tall is she? Because I'm
she's, I guess, yeah, I'm not sure she would necessarily be able to look down at you. She might be looking eye to eye with you because I think she's
yeah.
right around 7-ish feet when
Yeah,
she
she's like,
stands to her full height.
I think I'm a little taller.
Okay, then she looks up at you and she goes, I heard I got to bring the cleavers.
You're
And yeah,
yes.
go ahead.
No, yes, honey. It's nice to see you too.
And you note that she does have like a belt where she has several just dozen knives that are all just like tucked. And she has also on her back a rather large um it's like a sword. It's also like a butcher knife. It doesn't have a pointed edge. It's a flat topped sword that's just meant for cleaving. And you kind of realize that that is her cleaver. And her backward curved legs just kind of like pop a little bit as she's stretching out, now no longer in the tight confines of the galley. And Connery there with you. I suppose she said yes.
So I'm mostly looking for information. I'm hoping that with three very large, very competent looking people, they won't lie to us. Uh Thank you very much. I owe you all a favor.
That's quite all right. Um, what if they do lie?
Well, if we catch it, I would like to not. I know this is gonna make some folks sad. I would like to maybe not kill them, but definitely let's play it by ear. Because I don't want to get in more trouble than we have to.
Fair enough. Honey,
I
you
would
hear
like to
that?
not. I would like to not get us in so much trouble where we can't flee because the ship's not done.
Absolutely valid. Yes. Well, I'll lead the way.
All right, let's go. Then I'll lead them back to my uncle's shop. What was it? The
Uh,
Golden Elephant or something like that?
Golden Elephant, yeah. And the three of you definitely get a couple of glances as you are traveling with a well-armored Knoll and a rather beefy-looking Leonin who also has a massive sword that he carries as well, Claymore. Um, Making
Thank
it
God
back
this
to
is an advent, like a fantasy world, you know?
right. Oh yeah, no, honey, I just saw everything's fine. The centaur's out there with the horse lady's out there with the hyena lady and the lion man. It's a Tuesday.
We are such an eclectic looking bunch right here.
Really are.
It's fine.
So heading back to the Golden Lion, you see that Uncle Marik is has a piece of parchment that he has unraveled for you. Yes, it seems as if your meeting request has been accepted just fine. I was able to chat with the messenger. Not a particularly chatting fellow himself, but he did pass along the information as I am to understand it. You will be meeting atop one of the taller buildings in the city, uh, commonly called the Sentinel. It is uh, business, commerce, government building. It has many uses, but is typically unoccupied in the evenings. A great view of the city from the top, where you will be meeting. You are to meet there in an hour. I hope that none of you have problems with. And he's looking up now at Honey and Connery with heights. Acacia, why does that one look like she wants to eat me?
I wouldn't think too hard on it.
I'm trying not to. Yes, you will be meeting, as I understand it, with the head fisherman of the hooks. So it seems you have made a bit of a name for yourself, Janice. But Assad, the knife, will be meeting with you.
Is that the one of the founders of the hooks? Or just
Not a
one of the
not a
lead?
founder, but the leader around here. The hooks tend to have a lot of rotation, turnover, perhaps, in their leadership. It is rare that someone can stay a leader of the hooks for very long, and the founders are all long since dead.
Very cutthroat, you would say, in terms of their turnaround.
Cut throat, knife in the back,
Yep,
poison in your cereal, lots of ways, sure.
that's what I figured.
Mm.
I'm not surprised.
Um, please be careful. Get the information you need. Do not make an enemy of Assad. He is a vengeful piece of shit, and I would not want him using his unfortunately various resources to make your life harder than it has to be.
We have a lot of enemies. I would like to not make another one. Not anytime soon, at least.
Best of luck.
Thank you. And if I don't see you before we leave tomorrow, I'll see you soon. Thank you.
I will have word whether you make it or not. I hope.
All right. I would also like to say, Derek, I am not wearing my normal garb. I would have gone back into a little bit of more of the Eve Walkers, like if I'm going on a mission type of garb, I would have left my
Okay.
staff behind. So, and I also grabbed my shield. So, sword shield. I
Okay.
look like a melee fighter.
You do, yeah. Are you wearing your pendant, your Eve Walker pendant? Are you wearing any of the symbology?
It's yes, but it's upside down still.
Cool. Okay. Um, okay. Did you want Connery or Honey to also like wear cloaks, or would you rather them appear more like hired help?
I just want them to do whatever will make them more intimidating
Okay.
and
Yeah.
not to be messed with.
Yep. The sun's not out, but the guns are out. There's a lot of furry muscle going on.
Yes, that's one way to
Um,
put it.
yeah, this is This is somebody's dream. Okay. So you very easily would know what building your uncle is talking about. He pinpoints it on a map for you as well. And I believe you all are in the south, I think you're in the southwest district. So you're going to go to the northeast where there is definitely a taller building. It is almost as tall as the Great Citadel, the Great Palace at the center of this city, and definitely like stands up and about. It has these statues carved into the side of it, which appear as soldiers, and kind of this otherwise flat roof that you can note. Um, it's getting to the top of it, you're not exactly sure about, but as you all get closer and closer, you see that there are well the like all of the windows on this tall building, and we're maybe talking 5 stories, 6 stories maybe.
Yeah.
Like the structure is, we're not talking a skyscraper by any means, but definitely tall considering everything else here. You see that there are a couple of cloaked individuals who are standing by the front door of this building. And would you, before you get close enough and they necessarily see you, is there anything you would like to do, or would you like to go in the front door? Would you like to do something else? Up to you.
First things first, I'm going to do a what is it called? A psionic link with Honey and Connery.
Mhm.
Um, and I'll tell them, hold on 1 minute. And then I will turn in. What's a common like street animal around here?
You've seen cats, street dogs. I mean, there's birds, rats. I mean, it's a city, but
Okay.
also a desert city. So, I mean, scorpions, snakes, are also every now and then seen as well.
I'll just do a cat then.
Okay.
I would like it's 5 hour mind link. And I will like to get a general like closer look to see if these are guards or if people we're supposed to be meeting, because we're supposed to be meeting them on the top, right?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So scouting as a cat, go ahead and give me a perception check. I don't know if being a cat gives you advantage on that.
I don't know, but I know we keep our mental skills. I don't remember if
Yes.
it gives me. But
Let's see.
that's a 6 plus 14, so modified 20. Let me see if cat cat.
Advantage on checks for smell.
Okay, yeah, no. I'm assuming
Okay.
I'm listening and hearing.
Yeah, so as you get closer, you note that these two individuals are not dressed as like city guards. They're not wearing a lot of armor. They are wearing kind of wraps that cover their faces, definitely darker clothing. You smell a number of, just to give the cat perception here, you're picking up scents of patchouli, tobacco, sweat as well. These individuals have been active somewhat recently. You know that they have boots that curve up at the toe. You can see that they have daggers at their waist. They have short swords at their backs. Um, they uh, they are having a short conversation with each other, mostly just complaining about waiting. Two masculine voices, as far as you can tell. And they said with the check like that, the one thing you know is that their cloaks are bound where like your Eve Walker pendant might be. They have little fish hooks, very jagged looking fish hooks that are bound right at the shoulder. So you would reason that these are probably members of the hooks, but probably waiting for you.
We were told to wait on the top to meet on the top, right?
And they're at the front door. So maybe they are there to escort you. Maybe they are there to jump you. They are out in the open. So you're not exactly sure, but yeah, there are two of them on either side of the door here. Maybe they're to inform. There's a number of reasons why they could be waiting, but they don't seem like the blades aren't drawn. They are out in the open. People are passing by and are actively avoiding eye contact with them.
Is how close to the door are they?
The pretty big doors for a building of this size, so they are maybe 15 feet from the center.
So 15 feet from the sun. So the door's right
So
here.
30
they're
feet
like,
in total from each other.
so door, people.
So people, door, people. So they're about 30 feet from each other, with the doors centered 15 feet in between them.
But they're like next to the door, like on parallel, not like in front of it.
Yeah, kind of like
What I'm trying to do is, can I get behind them and closer to the door without them noticing?
I mean, you as a cat, you could probably go through the doors, and I'm not sure they would even notice. These
Are the
doors
doors
don't
open?
seem. Yeah, they're not locked. They are open. This is more of like an open walkway, as opposed to like I'm trying to reason out how a taller building would work in an ancient city that's also very sandy. But yes, I believe this would be more of an archway
Okay.
than necessarily doors. So they are more standing by like the pillars on either side of the archway.
Okay. So what I want to, in the mind link, I will tell Connery and Honey, all right, if you want to start like approaching the the building, go for it. I'm gonna make sure that it's known that we should not be messed with. Gave you a little bit of a surprise.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go inside the door near the archway, like probably just where they can't see me, because I plan on like becoming a surprise horse again.
Surprise horse. You got it. Okay. Yes, they begin to move forward again, not drawing their weapons, but moving confidently. And as they do, the one of the individuals, one of the hooks, steps forward, puts out a hand. Excuse me, no Taurus. You are not allowed here. This is private business. And Connery goes to like swat the hand away and like just gently pushes it down. Son, I am here on business. Step back, please. You are not a centaur, no horse person. You are lion person. A shoe kitty.
So while this is happening, I'm like, I will de-transform and like lean against like the pillar. Hi, boys. They're with me. So it looks like I came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and they both jump, like their hand goes to their knife before they realize what they're looking at, who they're looking at. If they can see the braid, the brown and white, but definitely the Eve Walker pendant upside down. They very quickly don't draw their weapons, kind of calm down a little bit. We should have been You should have been paying more attention. Looks at the other one. And they start just arguing to each other. You all can go inside. I need to make, apparently, a reprimand. And as you walk in, you just hear a shout from behind you. Have fun with these stairs. And you would look up and see that this, very similar in many ways to the icebox. It's hollow, like all the way up. It's almost like it's a tube where all the rooms are on the outside, and the stairway just kind of circles upwards around this building, going floor by floor. There is no lift here. So if you were going to get to this upper floor, you are going to have to take the stairs unless you have a magical means of getting up this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take stairs.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check. We'll see how exhausted you are by the time you get up there. This isn't a very high check, especially based on what your skill would be, but just for funsies.
17.
Yeah. So 17, I think by the time you get into the absolute top, there's a little bit of like heavy breathing. Honey is panting just a little bit, but you make it up there without any serious fatigue. And standing at the very top, you notice that you kind of like exit out of the stairway onto a platform. And then there's another short little stair that leads you up onto like this dais, this final raised portion of this roof. And on every corner of it are these statues of Rux, the bird, with their wings folded, and these statues of riders on them pointing forward with these great lances. And as you look out around the city, you see it just illuminated by all of these tiny bits of light in this otherwise the blue light that's cast by the night sky and the moon and the stars. And it seems to have like a life to itself. And torches are all about here as well, kind of placed behind the statues of the rocks so that your area is illuminated. Before you is at the center of three is a large Leonin with an all black mane and darker kind of tanned fur. Next to them, I guess to their left is a human mask presenting individual. To their right is someone you would identify as a half dwarf femme presenting individual. And as you climb up and your three see their three, the Leonin across from you with his arms crossed. So you are the great Acacia.
I don't know who's calling me great, but I am Acacia.
I am. You have come to my city. You have done many noticeable things since you got here, not to mention all of the things that you have seemed to have done before you came to my city. I know
Flattered.
of your fathers. I know of your uncle. I would call you great.
Flattered. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing to meet with me.
But of course, I am a tour guide of sorts to this beautiful gem of the deserts. I am Assad. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And he turns to the mask presenting human. This is my most trusted confidant and personal blade, Salazar. And to the left, Ravia, a master of her crafts.
My companions are Connery. I'll motion to him. Then I'll
Uh-huh.
motion to Honey. And Honey.
Connery, let's again, I'm gonna go with your past perception, is seething just a little bit, seeing this Leonin. There's a little like rumble in his throat, and even Honey has like a little grumble to her, like her eyes have kind of narrowed. Hey, it's please.
Well, in the mind link, you two okay? Anything I should know about him?
He's a war criminal, is what he is. I never met Assad. That wasn't his name back then. But I know his face, and I know that color. And Honey is just like going, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him.
Not when we can't get away quickly, Honey.
Oh, sorry, that's just my thoughts normally. Sorry.
God, getting into Honey's thoughts is fucking wild. Okay,
Don't mind me, that's just me stimming. Connery does kind of look to you a little bit, even through the mind link. I wouldn't trust anything he says. But I have your back, and I'm not going to draw a blade without your lead.
maybe we can come back for him another day. Now that we know he's here. War criminal from back home? That's like a question.
Hey, from Gondola, he has quite a lot of blood on his paws. He's led absolute massacres before. I thought that he was dead.
No, instead he just remade himself. Okay. I'll clear my throat and look at Assad.
Just big, toothy grin, big Leonic grin. Hey, what can I help you with? And now that you're in my city, I am not much of a merchant. Again, I'm a tour guide. If you would like to see these sites, I'm happy to take you around. What possible use could a lowly businessman such as myself be to you?
I mostly just had a question that you could potentially help me with. From what I understand, you are one of the, if not the, lead handler for your lovely organization.
For this branch of the organization?
Yes, this
Yes,
branch.
correct. I find myself very fortunate to be a fisherman for the noble hooks, and our endeavors to spread income equality and bring down those in power who would otherwise abuse the lowly people. Our efforts are not always 100% successful, but we do what we can.
And I'm sure spreading the wealth also includes giving people jobs and so on and so forth.
Absolutely. We are we employ all types.
I'm actually looking
For
for
employment? Of
no, for
course, you would be
one of
most
your
welcome.
employees,
Ah,
an old friend of mine. From what I understand, he's looking for me and I'm looking for him, and I wanted to touch base. You know, the seas are large and broad, and unfortunately, it's really hard to get post to someone if you don't know where they are.
of course. I'd never had the stomach for sailing myself. I mostly just stay here. This friend of yours, a name, perhaps?
Um, Used to be from Soteria, so there's a potential that he came this direction. Um,
Hmm.
a one-eyed halfling by the name of Panvir. I don't know if that's the name he's currently using, but how many one-eyed halflings have you come across recently in the last
Hey,
year?
you know, if I had a nickel, I'd have a couple of nickels, and that more than you'd think. No, it's halflings have a tough time holding on to their eyes these days. I'm not sure what the problem is. Pain beer. Can't say that I have had the pleasure. Sounds like a lovely individual, though. A friend of yours, of course, would be a wonderful individual to meet.
How much full of bullshit is he?
I'll go and roll for insight.
I'm gonna use my inspiration to do a reroll on that. That was a nat one.
Okay.
Let's try again. That is a 6 for a 15, but I'm gonna use one of my abilities.
Mm-hmm.
My druid ability is called Cosmic Omen. I rolled at the beginning of the day, and I'm assuming whenever a creature you can see within 30 feet also includes me. I can add a d6 to the total, basically.
Go for it.
So I have I rolled even, so meanings I get to add a positive number instead of taking away.
Okay.
So that's a total 18.
Okay. The smile is, I mean, it's deceptive. The voice is deceptive. Everything about him is deceptive. You don't get to this point in your career by being honest with people, not in a thieves guild like the Hooks. You're not sure if he's ever met Panvir. You're not sure if Panvir has ever come to this island or ever, been in the presence of Assad, but you are fairly certain that, like, when the eye twitch of Panvir, like Panvir's name was said, and there was just a little bit of a tell that Assad gave off, just a little twitch to the grin, that he has heard that name. A one-eyed halfling named Panvir is not something that you forget. And whether that name has come across his desk for good or bad reasons, you're not sure, but he is familiar with who the person is.
You sure? I'm sure someone as good at you as your work and with as many connections you have hasn't not heard of him. Some gold or just a little jostle of memory?
I have always found the sight of gold to be very helpful towards my recollection. A man of my age who has seen and done so many wonderful things, I tend to forget all of the greatness of my life. But the sight, the beauty of gold, oh, it is enough.
Also, Derek, I'm just gonna take out like a small pouch of some gold that I've had, and I'll just jingle it in my hand. I can also guarantee I don't plan on poaching him from your organization, hiring him, hurting him, nothing that will impact his employment with the hooks. And Derek, this is genuine.
Okay,
I'm not
I was
lying.
gonna ask. Yeah, I was
It's-
gonna ask. Not hurting him is interesting considering your last meeting, but fair enough. If that is Acacia's honesty, that is Acacia's honesty. Go ahead and roll for persuasion with that though.
I did not roll very well. I rolled a. This means a lot to me. I'm gonna use one of my advantages.
Okay.
And not do it on frickin' roll 20.
How bad?
I got a nat 1 on the second time.
Okay, rough.
So, yeah,
Rough.
I don't. Yeah, it's fine. And I'm give a little nudge to like. No, I'm not gonna. I'm trying to be persuasive. I'm not gonna have them do anything. So yeah, but that's it.
Okay.
But the pouch has like about 100 gold in it,
Okay.
like
if you
based
would
off weight and size, basically.
Okay. I think with the pouch then, he will send over Ravia, the half dwarf. She will pick it up, kind of turn her back to you, and you can see that she is kind of just like weighing it in her hands. She looks up, nods at him. Well, you do seem to be very interested in this individual and the sight of this beautiful gold. Oh, it has reminded me. I did hear of a new recruit to our beautiful philanthropic organization. Unfortunately, not at my branch. We were unfortunate not to receive this application, but a person named Benvir has been how do I want to say this? Active.
Doing a very good job at his role, from what I understand, and from the interest from the Empire that I've seen.
He's a real go-getter, as I understand it. Yes, last time I heard, he was working in one of our branches in Validus, doing a bang-up job.
Is that a Nerian branch, Derek?
That is, Validus is the Nerian continent. I could perhaps send a message through our network, much more reliable than the standard mail system of Domaris, if you would like to send a message to Padvir.
Derek, what are the two islands near Ascension Isle again?
Ascension Isle has Hillhome and the other one. That's I can look up on my map.
Paul Amaryl.
Oh, yeah, Fall Emerald is not an island. That's the Elven Sea Elf city. Yeah.
Oh, it's underground though, but it's not an island.
It's underwater. Yeah. Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, there's Hillhome. Yeah, Hillhome, Ascension Isle, and then yeah, there's Fall Emerald is nearby as well.
Yeah. In that case, I will take out verbal message or written.
Either works.
Okay. In that case, I will take out a piece of paper and I will scribble something down in specifically I feel like growing up we had our own code.
Okay.
So I don't think that's too far of a leap. I'll get you something written later, but
Sure.
I'll scribble out a message.
Sure.
And I'll hand it to the lackey.
Yeah. Yeah, Salazar actually walks over and you can see that he unrolls the paper. He's trying to read, but like it turns back to you and there's a look of confusion. It's not Thievescant, it's not any language that he knows. And he looks to Assad and just shakes his head like yes, we will happily deliver your message and keep its contents incredibly private, of course.
Of course.
Is there anything else I can do to be of service in you?
I am good. You have been incredibly helpful.
Yes. It is the right thing to do for someone as notable as you. I do not think this will be the last time that we meet, Great Acacia. Or your friends there. I do not think this is the first time we have met. You keep very interesting company. And
They're great, great friends.
I'm sure they are. Connery, when was the last time that you were home? Oh, it has been quite some while since your exile, of course. I forget. Well, we exiled must stand together sometimes, yes. Brothers who have been sent away, abandoned. We foster children of Gondola.
Regardless, thank you for this lovely piece of business. We're going to continue to peruse your beautiful jewel of a city.
You do that. And do leave it at your earliest convenience.
We will.
Is that when you leave?
Yeah, we're going to cautiously, I'm assuming none of us are going to just unhurriedly and cautiously leave. As casually as possible.
You are left totally alone as you leave. The two sentinels standing guard are no longer there. The streets even seem to have livened up a little bit, where you notice that now torches are lit on the outside of the city or outside of the building that you were walking out of that were earlier snuffed. It was almost like there was a little symbol of just like, don't use this building right now. It's being used otherwise.
And before we get to someone else, mentally I'll say to like Honey and Connery, let's go get a drink. I fucking hate that guy. And Honey, I agree with your internal thoughts earlier. Real piece of work.
Thank you.
Another day, though.
Yep, another day. And Connery has like, just fists just absolutely bulge, just absolutely tensing, and then you say go get a drink and he just shakes it out. Another day. Let's go. Okay. So as you all go get a drink, Scarlett, how would you like to prepare for your meeting?
Right?
Always a free action.
No. It'll be fine.
Just go in there with smeared makeup.
No. Scarlett
Everything's
is better than
fine.
that.
Yeah, she is.
Throw him
Never gonna-
off. Like, who would
Yeah.
expect that?
I've had
What a
such a
tactic.
bad day.
Someone impersonated me. Someone tried to steal my identity. No. It won't be anything like that. Probably just honestly alone time. Prior
Yeah.
to really just she has no idea what she's getting into, so to prep for maybe possibly anything. And not gonna use disguise self on her way there, just gonna throw on her cloak of ever-changing whatever it is, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what things are called. You put me in charge.
They're great. Marcus is coming with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to double check. What is this meeting with, for, whom, what, where, why? I know the when. I know the where. Why are we having this meeting?
I'm just curious. The way that this person was presented to us, it just seemed off. I'm thinking that maybe this person has more influence here than possibly anybody else that we could maybe talk to.
Fair enough. All right. Should we bring a gift? Is this a housewarming sort of thing?
I don't know if we want to bring a gift.
All right.
I don't have a good feeling about who we're going to meet. In case you were wondering.
So very glad to be going with you for that.
At least I told you about it this time.
At least.
And, not after or while it was happening. Like last time. I at least know this person doesn't hate me right off the bat.
You know I'd happily stand by you in the worst of situations. A little meeting with what's to worry about.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Your confidence is intoxicating.
It's fine. Nothing throws you off like somebody impersonating you anyway.
It was a terrible impersonation. It looked nothing like you. No, it looked exactly like you. It was really unsettling. It was really confusing for a second.
If you ever want to know what I look like under Eula's rule, there you go. Like a bitch. Not a good look.
Is this a weapons sort of meeting? That's a yes. All right.
Discreetly? Maybe?
You're looking for a bodyguard.
I'm going unarmed.
Yes, as always. You're looking for a bodyguard boyfriend.
Isn't that what you are anyway? Is that not what you're my first mate for? Oh, I'm sorry. You're protecting the crew from me, not vice versa. I understand.
You have such great pillow talk. This is so great. This is so nice for me. Really building up the confidence. Is it time to go yet? Is this?
I'm sick of my shit. Yeah, let's go see if we're walking into a lion's den. Tiger's den? Tiger's den. There we go. Lion's den is on the redemption.
Tigers, fun fact, don't have dens.
They've got something, and we're walking right into it. Apparently they have taverns.
Tiger's Tavern, yes. Right. You walk with Marcus, the little dim light that he gives off through his eyes, the hair follicles, the scars, and
walking
even
the light.
Yeah, it's not super bright, but there's just a little dim light that's otherwise illuminated even more. It's like when he walks closer.
Night light is super bright, Derek. If you have a bright nightlight, is that a nightlight?
That's true. That's nobody gets a spotlight for a nightlight. As he walks closer to torches, they kind of flare up just a little bit. Just a little ambient Genasi bullshit. For long, you get to the Happy Tiger. And whatever. I thought I had it right that time. You get to the Friendly Tiger and see that in the nighttime, it is absolutely bustling. It was full even during the day, but here the light illuminates out into the street from the open windows. You can hear music, you can hear laughter, lots of discussion going on. And as you walk into the tavern, you can see that it is absolutely full. You can see that there are guards from city guards who are off duty. You see that there is a table of Nerean sailors. You can see that there are numerous just city folk as well, all kind of just enjoying the evening. Behind the bar is the wood elf that you saw before.
So glad she's not going to recognize me.
Also too. Nah, not really what I'm looking for. Okay. Yes. So, what would you like to do walking into the bar? There's a number of tables. There's some open seats at the bar. It is busy in here, but there's still space to sit and drink should you want.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Okay.
To do like courage shots? It sounds like a really bad idea.
I'm not here to tell you one way or the other.
No, you're just here to tell me my consequences.
Yeah, uh,
I'll
that's my
just go up
job.
to the barkeep.
Yes. What can I get for either of you?
Scarlett Shores has a meeting with the Raja.
Yes, you do. She looks over to the stairway, which goes up and off into the right. His office is the second floor. Show respect. And
I
respect
do
will be given.
nothing but
Of course.
pass her and slide her like over a gold piece across the bar.
Up the stairs, you and Marcus go. You reach the second floor very shortly. It is plush, is the word I'm going to use for it. There are rugs on rugs on rugs, all just very elaborately woven with all of these very fine patterns woven into them. You can see that there are like lace drapings coming down from several parts of the walls. There are pillows laid out in multiple places. There's kind of a smoky haze, which you note that there are two femme-presenting people who are less than fully dressed, who seem to be imbibing on a hookah. At one corner of the room, you see a very large, muscled red dragonborn step out from like the corner from the shadows. From the opposite corner, you see an equally large blue dragonborn walk out as well. They are dressed in uh they're dressed like gladiators. They're dressed with kind of like scant armor, leathers, some metals, blades at their hips. One of them has a shield, and they kind of just like stand there almost like statues, but they watch you throughout. And as you walk into this room, you can see kind of through the haze that there is a desk laid out with a massive pointed arched window behind, and that would lead out to a balcony and then the city street. And sitting there in these very decadent robes is a human man, as far as you can tell. Very ornately designed beard in the sense that there's a gray streak down the center, but it kind of forks out into two patterns on either side. You can see that he has a very like thick eyeliner and makeup that he's wearing on his darker brown skin. And you can see that he also has a hookah sitting on his desk that he takes a puff from time to time. Um, Otherwise, yeah, it's very colorful in here, but the smoke kind of obscures a little bit, or I guess the vapor obscures a little bit. Um, no one really says anything. As you walk in, but you can see that there is a very plush chair, which has been placed in front of the desk. And eyes follow you both as you move.
Neat. I'm gonna go to the desk. I'm not gonna sit yet, though.
Okay. Let's see. Excuse me. I wonder if this is. Okay, so it's not that. So, if you would like, I will get an investigation check from you, please. As I'm presuming you were looking at the person you're meeting with.
19.
A 19. Okay. Yeah, there's something off through the haze. You can't tell exactly what. But there is something just immaterial about this individual, something that is shifting somewhat. But he does look up to you. Again, these heavily like darkened eyes, but very bright blue irises. Hello, hello, my friends. Hello, you are the great Scarlett Shores, the queen of these infinite seas. So I hear. I heard you had quite an adventure earlier in the city at the fighting pits. I am very excited to see that you made it out of that predicament and have decided to have a meeting with me.
If only that was really me who did that.
You have stories I can tell. Please,
Oh,
please sit. I am Bakshora, the Raja of this fine establishment. It is truly an honor to have someone with the reputation that you have sitting with me. And who is your friend?
This is my first mate of my ship. His name is Marcus. He will sit and observe and not say a word. Just cut my eyes.
There's no chair for me. Do I sit on the floor?
No, you don't sit on the floor. You just stand behind the mic, please.
You said to sit. I will choose to stand.
This is the point where I love the fact that I have the telepathic feat, so I can actually just say things for that mental link. It's just, please, for the love of God.
Of course, yes. Please. We could bring you a chair. It's not a problem. Xerxes. And he snaps fingers over to the red dragonborn, and the red dragonborn goes back into like the little alcove that they came out of, and pulls out an equally designed plush chair, sets it next to yours, and just kind of like looks into Marcus's eyes and just huffs a little bit, just like a little bit of smoke comes out. Marcus just blows a little smoke back at him. Jesus. I can do that too.
Just mentally, just please stop. Please stop showing off.
And Marcus kind of tucks the hilt of his saber and sits down next to you. Mentally, these are really nice chairs. If things go down, I think we should take these chairs.
We're not taking the chairs. We're not taking anything. We're here to talk. We're not here to fight. I literally just want to talk to this person. For the love of all things good.
It's fine. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just sitting here.
I'm going to go back to the ship.
Not going back to the ship. So, you decided to set this meeting with me, knowing what I can only presume to be nothing about me. I am curious what this meeting is for, what you want, who you think I am. I am a simple establishment owner. I am nobody of any great import, but you, Scarlett Shores, you have a name that carries things with it, and I see the things that you carry. I see many things about you. But what do you want from me? Simple Bakshora.
I know people of power when I see them.
I'm sure you do.
The way that your barkeep would talk about you. And just certain aspects of your establishment. You carry a strong influence over this town. Maybe possibly more than the Sultan himself.
He does try. But you flatter, you flatter. You and those words, I have heard of those words. Dangerous things.
Less dangerous these days.
Don't know about that. It has been a long time since I've sat with a siren.
Hmm. I wouldn't consider myself a true siren. Maybe, adjacent to a kraken, with spending 10 years next to one.
Mhm. That is a little bit of what I mean. Words can be very dangerous things when they make deals and break them.
I did what I needed to do out of necessity.
As we all must. But 2 broken deals. Bad for business, one might think.
Maybe. I have my reasons.
And what are your reasons with me, Scarlett Shores?
I like to be friends with powerful people.
Until they are no longer of use to you.
No, I wouldn't say that. Eula was different. I would never consider her a friend or someone that was ever on equal terms. She sought out an agreement when I was very naive. She used that in her own advantage. And I was stuck. I sought out power that was stronger than Eula to get from under her. In hindsight, not the best idea, I will admit. But Eula was coming to an end very quickly, and I needed outs from under her. She was coming unhinged.
That was always my biggest critique of her. Anytime she asked, I told her, your goals are far too big, Eula. But she would not listen to advice.
She knew all. What advice did she need? It wasn't her own.
And look where she ended up. So you want to be friends then? Very well. I am always looking to make new friends.
I want to know if you're friends with the Empire first.
I have friends in many places. You seem to accumulate more enemies than you do friends, Scarlet Shores.
Some people hold grudges.
They tend to do that when you fling them from windows, burn their ships, topple their buildings, and otherwise despoil their precious peace.
Yeah, no, if you're referencing the entire Empire, that's different. We will never be friends. They are keen on taking things that do not belong to them, including people in their lives.
Strong talk from a pirate queen.
I might take things, but do not take people's lives if I can take it.
That is a good quality to have in a friend.
And
Some might say.
We don't go off gallivanting and pirating everything we see. Nor do I ever intend on leading my ships to do so.
Moderation, also a quality. Temperance, some might say. Speaking of, would you and your companion like a drink? Perhaps a hookah?
No drink. But
Very well.
as it seems to be, I don't want to say a custom around here, but the thing to do, I will indulge for the hookah.
An indulgence for certain. Okay. Scarlett, you go to take a puff. The hookah is presented to you. And when we come back, I will get a Constitution saving throw from you. But that's where we're going to take our break. So stick around, folks. We'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes. And I think we have a special surprise plan for you when we do. So stick around. We'll be right back. Take care of yourselves. Do the things. Vast, and welcome back, everyone. I need you to know that I've done 2 streams today, and Eva has messed me up on the countdown twice today. It's a talent she has. Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us now, welcome to Horizons Call. If you've been sticking around, thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate it. Because I have a stable of black spots sticking around, and because I've decided to invoke one with this little check that I've given Scarlett, we might as well do a shanty now that we are back from break. But before that, I do want to say that if you enjoy giving black spots, or we'll probably have to introduce boons at some point, not just complications, with how eager you all are to spread your generosity. You can do so at any time through pally.gg. You can give advantages, you can give crits, you can give black spots. Maybe we'll look into doing boons in the near future. Also, if you are watching this on Twitch, we are looking to do perhaps something in the near future where if you spend a whole buttload of points, like Twitch points, you can name an island or city or something like that with the GM's okay. So we're not doing that today, but we can look into that in the future. Okay. So the shanty today, as was rolled on twice, so it was meant to happen. This is a song called Dead Horse, also called Poor Old Man or Poor Old Horse. It's a period sea shanty that actually, like, there's a lot of them, like from the Longest Johns or the Dreadnoughts, which are more like contemporary sea shanties. This is an older one that actually did survive into the modern era. It's interesting because rather than being sung to coordinate tasks during the work at sea, it was sung to typically celebrate the end of the first month of a deep water voyage. Often sailors would receive pay up front at the first month of the journey. After the first month, they had worked off their debt, colloquially known as paying off the dead horse, and they were now earning money again. So as a celebration, some sailors would sing a sea shanty to this of this type along with the ceremony, in which an effigy of a horse composed out of scraps was thrown overboard. It's a weird tradition. It's one that they did anyway. There's a little bit of history for you. If you are familiar with Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you might be familiar with this song. So, a poor old man came riding by, and we say so, and we know so. Oh, a poor old man came riding by, oh, poor old man. Says I, old man, your horse will die, and we say so, and we know so. And if he dies, we'll tan his hide, oh, poor old man. And if he don't, I'll ride him again, and we say so, and we know so. And I'll ride him again to the Lord knows when, oh, poor old man. Oh, he's dead as a nail in the lamp room door, and we say so, and we know so. And he won't come worrying us no more, oh, poor old man. We'll use the hair of his tail to sew our sails, and we say so, and we know so. And the iron of his shoes to make deck nails, oh, poor old man. We'll rope him down with the long row, and we say so, and we know so. Where the sharks will have his body, and the devil take his soul, oh, poor old man. There's a song about a dead horse. All right. Back into Horizons Call now, as Scarlett is sat down with the Raja, as he has introduced himself, the Raja Bakshura, and has just taken a little puff of the hookah. Scarlett, if you wouldn't mind giving me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Anyone wants to do any last minute advantages or crits? It'd be great.
That was so kind of you. If you would like to tip and save Scarlett's life,
Or I think the donation link is still active, so you can do like 2 good deeds right now. You'll be good for the entire week.
We don't officially award like karma points, but like it's not a bad deed you'd be doing.
Con save. 15.
Scarlett, your eyesight fuzzes just a little bit as you are essentially poisoned. But this isn't like a toxic poison. You're not going to die from this. You're poisoned in the way that like alcohol is a poison, that you will have disadvantage on the things that you do because you are slightly inebriated now. As whatever this hookah is does have a sort of quality to it. I see you are someone who also enjoys the finer things, and the voice has a little bit of a distortion to it now. Go ahead and give me an investigation check with disadvantage, please.
Uh, 12.
Yeah. If anything, the image that was shifting somewhat before in the smoke has solidified. This is most certainly just a normal person who is sitting across from you with a very wide smile of golden fang or golden canine teeth that he seems to be smiling with. So you want to be friends? I appreciate someone who also enjoys a good time. Friends, we are close to being. I have to ask, since you think I am someone of such import, have you brought me a gift? Do you, the Scarlet Shores, have anything that you would like to treat me with? Gift giving goes very far when it comes to making friends, as I have heard some say.
As I'm hastily checking my inventory to see if I have anything neat.
Yeah, Marcus leans over and just telepathically like, "Are you good? You okay? You seem wobbly.
Yeah, a little wobbly.
Do we need to leave?"
No, that seems like a bad idea.
Agreed, but I wondered if staying here was a worse one.
Leaving seems like a worse idea than staying, honestly.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna place my bracers of defense on my table.
Very nice. These are very well made. They seem to be magical. This is very thoughtful of you. I will put these on right now. I feel stronger. Very nice. These are very nice. And absolutely does just like kind of slap them on to the wrist, which kind of tightens up the robes a little bit. Give me another investigation check with disadvantage.
8.
8. Totally normal looking hands. It's so weird.
So weird.
Scarlet Shores, as someone who I have heard traded in information, an interesting gift nonetheless, but one that I appreciate. And one that perhaps if I become bored with, I could give to one of my many employees. You see, I do not own just this establishment. The Friendly Tiger is certainly where I like to operate my business out of, but I find myself also to be a connoisseur of the fighting pits, as you can see, of Zoxes and Bollocks here, two of my finest, who I thought might be of potential use in this meeting, considering how I have heard some of your other meetings have ended.
They ended that way due to the other party acting out.
Well, I will try not to act out then.
And if it was a information sort of gift you were after, and I apologize for the physical one, as most people I've been dealing with have preferred the riches over the being intellectually richer.
I appreciate all gifts. Do you have information for me, Scarlet Shores?
Possibly.
You came in saying that there was a false version of you. someone who is claiming to use your name, I would have much interest in knowing who this person was. Someone in my city pretending to be someone else is... I like to be informed.
It was a shock to my system. You see, we were at the fighting pits and we were watching the show. And all of a sudden someone is letting out these creatures. And there is fog and there is chaos, and all of a sudden there is me from 2 years ago standing there doing all of this in the name of some fight that I'm barely fighting. In my name, claiming that I am this queen, and they had somebody else with them that looked like a friend of mine, but not nearly as good as the Scarlett one. Unfortunately, we weren't able to capture her. She got off on the Pegasus and was gone.
Perception check with disadvantage, please.
Yeah, fuck me. This is gonna end badly. 16.
Okay.
Not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, not the worst. Not the worst for talented liar Scarlett Shores.
But is it what I need? Probably not.
Very interesting. I will have to check with some of my other sources. I could have sworn that that she was taken down and collected along with some of these beasts. But you seem to be honest with me, which I appreciate. You asked if I was friends with the Empire. I am not the kind of person to try to burn bridges. But at the same time, they have been hampering my personal goals in this city. And I don't appreciate people putting their feet where they don't belong. So I would not say that I am friendly with them. People within the Empire, most certainly. But I am not the biggest fan of them trying to plant their flag in my sand. I will leave it at that.
The Empire seems keen on taking anything and everything that they can. And restricting people on how they can live their lives. That is my main quandary with them. I understand wanting to have land, but taking land in ships without purpose just because you can does not sit right with me.
And they take things so eagerly. Such greed doesn't leave a lot for the rest of us. Frustrating. Very frustrating. What would you do? What are you doing?
Trying to find a way to stop them.
Then I wish you the best of luck. How is the hookah treating you?
Great.
Wonderful. Scarlett, you can give me another Constitution saving throw. I don't believe it's a disadvantage.
13.
Still feeling it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Was there something else that you needed? I am very busy.
Oh, this is when it gets tricky. This is when I tiptoe even more. What would it take for you to keep the Empire in check here, or get rid of them from this island?
A simple businessman such as myself, I'm not sure what power I would have to do anything to the Empire, and I'm not sure why anyone would think that I could.
Like I said, I have hunches.
Mm.
You see, my
mm.
ship prior to renaming it was called the Bloodhound. And I feel like, well, yes, it was not my ship that I named originally. I feel like it still fits for sniffing out certain things.
Yes. And of course, then you kept the first mate then. Marcus.
He is
Kept him
prudent,
quite...
Andy.
I can see that. I'm sure he is quite good with his hands.
He can show you.
That is actually something I would like to see. How handily do you keep yourself, Marcus Ash? And he just kind of looks to you like, telepathically, what in the God's names is your plan right here?
Both of you to assume I have one, just go with it.
I am quite capable in a various number of tasks that are required of me as first mate. How do you handle yourself in battle? I think I handle myself quite admirably. Turns back to Scarlett. Would you have your man fight one of mine? As I said, I am a connoisseur of the blood sport, and it would be quite an honor to see Marcus Ash fight against one of mine.
What would be the terms?
Well, to the death, of course. If yours dies, I will happily pay out whatever his cost might be, since this is an unsanctioned fight. Of course, do not alert the authorities, or there will be consequences.
And I don't do well with the authorities anyway.
I figured as much. Otherwise, they are allowed to have access to whatever they are innately capable of, as well as whatever weapons and armor. He seems to be outfitted for a fight, more or less, as is.
That's just as usual.
It would be a great step towards our friendship.
Telepathically, I'm just gonna. Can you fight? Can you do it?
I can always fight.
Okay.
Give me just a minute to pull up my character sheet.
Derek's just. This is where Derek plays, and he just plays himself.
The rest of you go away!
I'm so sorry making you play with yourself on stream, Derek.
It's my turn. My toys.
Okay, well then I'm so sorry you're going to have to fight.
Would you like access to the Marcus sheet? Would you like to Marcus?
God, no, I am terrible at fighters. I'm so
well,
bad.
he's a rogue. He's a rogue.
Oh,
Because he is a
did you
swashbuckler.
Change it? Oh,
Wow.
No,
doesn't
Marcus
even
is a
know
rogue?
What class your boyfriend is.
I'm even worse
Wow.
at playing rogues. To be honest.
he's a fighter 2 rogue 8. So,
okay, so I'm not completely offhand, but
yeah.
I'm even worse at playing
no,
rogues.
Marcus. Come on.
No. I am not going to make you all sit here and watch me play with myself, much as Kaila said. So I am going to do some rolls. If this is what they're agreeing to, I'm going to do some rolls so I can more narrate what happens throughout this combat to really shorten it. While I am doing that, we are going to say,
Proximus.
yes, we're going to, well,
Sleeping.
Proximus is napping. So yes, we've cut over to Proximus for 2 hours and just watch him dream.
It's just a
He's having
sleep
that dream where he's
stream.
running.
I mean, I have a scene in my head I can narrate.
We cut over to Proximus, and then we cut over to Smokey, who's just going,
He's trying to wake me up.
Yeah. He's dreaming too. Okay. So we will cut over real quick. So we'll say that Scarlett, having agreed to this fight, God, it really is snowing really hard. Anyway, that the Raja takes you like to the basement. You know, you all go downstairs, accompanied by the gladiators as well. The other people upstairs got to stay where they were in that haze, and still swimming a little bit on the stairs. You know, Marcus puts a hand on your shoulder to steady you, and you see the bartender, the wood elf, just look to you and nod, and then looks to where you're going and just shakes her head. And you go behind the bar, behind the massive mirror and the bottles, and you find that there is a hatch that is lifted up. And as you descend down the stairs of the hatch, a smell and sound, just a cacophony of senses, absolutely just blast you as you realize that there is an unsanctioned fighting pit that has been beneath your feet this whole time. And you see, dimly lit by lanterns, is this sandy pit with wooden boards all placed around. There is blood in the sand. There is the smell of death and fecal matter, and just it is horrible to smell down here. A sweat, just bodies cramped together, and all around in these trenches you see people who are standing and cheering as these two half orcs are going at each other with what is left of these like almost like not like brass knuckles. They've used bits of broken glass and metal and tied them into the wrappings of their knuckles, and are just absolutely slicing each other apart with them. And as you watch as one of the half orcs, who has like a blue streak painted across his chest, the other with a red streak, the one with the blue streak, falls face first into the sand, unmoving. And the other one, just absolutely streamed with blood, raises his hands, and the crowd cheers. And the Raja turns to all of you. Not a bad setup, eh? It's a bit loud down here, so we'll take seats, and then we'll watch the show. Great. So, as we're going to prepare for that fight, as I do some rolls here, Proximus, you chose to sleep. You could actually take a long rest. You could take a short rest. Was there anything you wanted to do?
Yeah, after Proximus wakes up, he is going to find Throso. Actually, I feel like you cut over in yeah, I don't know if I took a long rest or a short rest. Short rest is fine. Long rest. I'll take a long rest.
Okay. So long rest is probably going to get you to like early morning then. It might even be after the Marcus Scarlett fight. So at this point, Acacia's probably come back with Honey and Connery. Winnie might still be out doing her recon stuff, but you wake up, and I'm going to say that presumably you don't find anybody else there. Their stuff is there, but without specifically knowing, no one else is in that underground section. So what would you like to do?
Well, I think I would find someone. Is there anyone on ship? Because everyone has shore leave, correct?
Yes. So going back to the ships, I would say because you were in like that underground, you were hanging out with Great Uncle Marie.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Thank you.
So the ships are dry docked. So going back to the ships, I think there you would find Connery and Honey, who are still kind of sitting up, maybe having a drink, having returned from the bars. Acacia, if you would like to be there as well, I think that would be a reasonable thing. So you would find them aboard the Redemption. Looking at anybody else on the Redemption, there might be a few sailors here and there. yes, some of the officers might be there as well, depending on who you're looking for. I think most of the sailors from both ships are out and about, just in the taverns and bars.
I was wondering where everyone was. Eh, what is going on?
Well,
Sorry, I had to take a long rest. I was
It's
very
been a-
sleepy.
it's been a long day. Scarlett and Winnie and Marcus are still out. Not sure where they are. I think I saw Winnie going off downtown towards bars, but not sure about Scarlett.
Oh. Okay. Is there any goal that we are trying to accomplish?
Leave as soon as possible.
Hey, how long do we have left, Captain?
A ship should be done by noon tomorrow.
Wow, that's pretty good. Any specific things you need from me?
Just go out in the town, don't cause problems, keep your nose clean, have a good time.
Don't
Don't
cause
be like
problems.
Scarlett.
Because we can't flee yet if problems are caused.
That makes perfect sense.
Rosho's managing inventory, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'll go touch base with Trosho real quick.
Down in the hold.
So I go down to Trosho.
Hello.
Hey, Trosho, I have I don't know if you have anything to use. I used to so my carapace is getting very out of hand. It's been growing and I need to shape it up a little bit. Do you have anything that can grind down my carapace?
I'm sure I have something.
Just to shape it up a little bit, because as it grows, it kind of grows.
You don't shed?
No, it just grows, and then I.
What do
shave
you
it down.
typically use?
Sandpaper. Usually, I would use rocks, but I was wondering if maybe you could get something more precise.
I've got a cheese grater.
I think I might break that actually.
Huh. There's a smithy down the street. We could get you a stone grinder.
Oh yeah, I mean something like
How
that
sharp
you
do you
would-
want to be?
Oh, not super sharp. I don't want to cut myself, but my gym fell out. I got the scar on here. I just want to maybe get some designs put into it. I don't know. I have these ideas. I had this old book, and it showed tritons with all different shapes of carapace, and then they had designs that they carved in and put different metals inside it. It looked really cool, and that's what I was looking for. I know it's hard to explain.
No, I know what you mean. I'm just trying to think of somebody who can do it. Carpenter, jeweler. Fuck it, I'll do it.
Oh yeah, if you can.
Hammer and chisel.
Yes, that is exactly what I was thinking. Actually,
You didn't ask where I found these,
I
and you won't. All right.
now I feel like I should, but
You really shouldn't. Is already rolling over a barrel. Just this little Lakatha, these big flipper feet, rolls over a barrel, stands it on end. Sit.
Yes. So I sit on there. Yes.
Scoots over a stool behind you and flops on up. Just starts like chiseling away at part of the carapace.
So how's your family?
The barber shop.
Yeah.
Yes. It's, I have not talked to Dominera in a very long time, actually. I was wondering if she would probably want to get this also, but it's not a big deal. Either way, um, you know, I got some cool things while I was in town. Acacia's uncle uh, had something to trade, and so I pull out the helm. I want this to be able to go on my head, but go around my carapace. So, I thought I should shape it up a little bit.
So you want to fit the helm, and you want the helm to fit you.
Yeah. Yes.
It's all anybody ever wants.
You
I
know,
feel like that can be managed.
I have missed our talks, Trosho. A lot.
Me too. And the tongue goes out to like lick the eye, gets stuck on it, comes back in. Ah. Yeah, just pulling out like little bits and bobs from the vest from like a tool belt, chisels up on all of the extending carapace. Asked for designs. Designs
Yeah.
are carved in.
Just,
So how do you like being at sea?
it's very interesting. I didn't think this much work went into sailing until I became first mate. But
It's a lot.
no mutinies, right? No mutinies. Yeah.
Not on this
okay.
ship.
Better not. No, I'm learning, and I'm glad that everyone is being patient with me.
You're doing a fine job.
Thanks, Trosho.
So,
What's new with you?
well, I bought a whole bunch of chain while I was in town. That was nice. And I replaced a lot of our food rations. And Honey didn't eat me. Again, that's always a good day. Good day to wake up.
That is a good thing. Yes.
Yeah. There's sometimes when I wake up and she's drooling over top of me and I feel like I'm swimming in my dreams. That's how I know. And then her eyes are closed, but she's panting the word trout over and over.
Hmm.
Me, myself, more of a salmon fellow, redfish. But still,
This has actually happened, or this is a dream of yours?
oh no, this happens. It's every full moon. Honest is the weird thing. So
If you need, you can always use my room. If you on a full moon, you can use my room. It has a
keeps me
double
on my
lock.
flippers. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'll see if that's the way I go. That's the way I go. That's the way I've been looking at things. Otherwise, I've been spending lots of time in my pool. And on the other side of the room is just like a stagnant pool of water that's barely being held together with like a metal ring around it. A pool.
Would you like to hear a story?
Fuck it.
I use shape water to tell a story about the great Persona and how when Persona came to the material plane after the deluge, he joined with a coatl and fought off sea monsters. I don't know.
I'd keep working on it, but it's not bad.
Yes. I'm just, workshopping some things. I read in the book where Persona is known to be with a coatl god. Do you know of any? It's very vague.
Not aware of any coatl gods personally. Them's the snaky ones, right? The snaky ones with wings?
Yeah, yes. They had the pictures depicting them, and in some of old armor, like you know, what you see on the helm and my armor and Winnie's armor, they have like the snakes on there with wings. It's really, I don't know. Can you put one of those in my carapace?
Sure. Why not? Snakes with wings. That's normal. Uh,
Just normal things.
Just normal things. Normal things in this normal world that we live. All right. Well, and looks out the window as y'all have been working for a few hours. Looks like dawn's coming.
We should be getting out of here soon. I'm gonna check on everyone else, make sure they make it back to the ship, okay?
I think that's a good idea. Who knows what they got into on these nights? You all just make such a big... You make a big fuss when you get into cities.
We really do, and we really need to stop doing that. I appreciate your doing this. It looks great. I can't even see it myself.
Here's a mirror. Not that one. That one's Winnie's. Don't look in that mirror.
Oh, yes. We don't want to look in that mirror.
I did once. It was 3 days.
Oh, Trosho. Okay. Yes, I appreciate it so much. If you need anything from the town, just let me know.
I'll do that.
All right.
You look ship-shape. You look real handsome. Your helmet's gonna fit and all that bullshit. So, thanks for stopping by, Trosho's. Payment, please.
Thanks, Trosho. How much?
Whatever you think is fair.
I give him 5 gold. And then I say, here's the 5 gold, 1 and the 2 and the 3. Also, I might be coming into some money with a bet. So we'll see how that works out.
Sure. Hey,
It was my first bet, you know.
what did you bet on?
Fight.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope you come into some money then.
We shall see. Here you go. 4 and 5. Okay. See you.
Sucker. Proximus, speaking of your bet, as the day is now arriving at this point in your story, the fight would have happened if it was going to happen at all. Why don't you roll me a D100?
Ooh.
These fighters are pretty evenly matched. So what I'm going to say is I rolled a number. If it is above 50, or
It's 93.
93, I rolled a 91. You have so again, it was basically a 50-50. If you were going to be above 50 and so was I, you would win. If we were different, you would not. So congratulations. You bet 200 silver?
200 gold.
200 gold on Flamma the Skullkeeper. Rest in peace, Atrox the Black.
I have never won anything before.
So we can roleplay you winning or getting your winnings tomorrow. Presuming you all aren't fleeing the city. We'll see how that goes. Okay, let's cut over to Winnie. Let's go back in time now. So Proximus is still snoozing. Acacia has left for her meeting. Scarlett has taken Marcus for hers. Winnie,
What if I was going to coup de grace Proximus in his sleep? How
What
is that
if?
going to work if we're going back in time?
And now we've split the timelines.
Now
And
I
welcome-
Right. You'll
Welcome
need
to my
prune.
Loki spinoff I've been planning the whole time.
You'll need to prune this one. Oh, nuts.
Oh my goodness. Fine.
Now Proximus continues on into the multiverse and meets Frog Thor, and then you all get to continue with your main adventure.
Frog Thor. When do you want to go to that timeline? Yeah, okay. I'm here. I won't coup de grace APC, I guess.
Cool. Hey, thanks. What do you want to do with your night besides not coup de grace? Every night, I just get so busy not coup de grace.
You don't understand how hard it is to be Winnie. And have all
My
these
dark passenger is
opportunities.
so loud sometimes.
I have 4 extra hours in my night. And yeah. That's what elves do with their trance time, by the way.
They
Is
just sit there and try not to kill their friends.
they resist. Yeah. So I'm gonna be I'm gonna go. We're in the capital, right? How close are the islands? I feel you did an incredible, so good description. The session I wasn't here of the islands. So if you could just repeat that for me, please. Everyone else knows, I know, but
So I want to be clear. What islands are you talking about?
isn't Korea
In a world of islands.
in a world of islands?
In a world of islands. What islands are you trying to measure?
I thought Karina had like a couple other islands like
Yeah,
nearby.
Krita has the God's Eye next to it, and it also has a separate island off to the northwest. So the God's Eye is close enough that there is a chain ferry system. So I mean, it's only a couple of miles tops.
That's too far.
the-
I'm not swimming a couple. Well, ugh. It has a mile-long chain ferry.
It's set up with posts, so
Yeah.
the ferry moves along by the chain. Yeah,
I like that.
because it's not super deep. It's not like there's a trench between the two. It's
Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
And then the other island is Kaila, which is to the northwest.
Okay, I guess Winnie's gonna work her way out. She'll see if she has time to hit one of the other islands, but she kind of wants to like get a vibe on the whole like city thing, and local environs. So she's going to disguise herself as a no, she's not gonna do that. As a human, I think, a femme presenting human type lady thing, and hit a bar, but like a gruff looking like dock worker kind of like take no guff sort of demeanor with disguise self. I should probably mark that spell off. Disguise self. I know what spells are. And I'm gonna listen for rumors. And keywords, I guess, are the Nerian Empire. Anything to do with Phoenix Landing or Ascension Isle. Our names, our ship names, that sort of thing. Little Jeffrey. Oh my gosh, if anyone mentions Little Jeffrey, I'm gonna be like on it.
If anyone mentions little Jeffrey,
I
it's
swear to God.
swear to God.
Since I transit the ship, I am going to leave the mirror behind in my room.
Probably a good idea
Yeah.
to leave the 4-foot mirror behind.
And little Jeffrey, I'm gonna leave with Sammy, I guess. Unless he's gonna cuddle up with Proximus while Proximus sleeps, which is entirely possible. You should lock your door, Proximus. That's like a big security risk. I've been teaching him to pick locks, so that's a whole other story, but like he's not very good at it, so I'm just saying. Or put the handle like another foot higher, he probably couldn't reach it. I mean, he can fly, he could probably still reach it, but like he'd have to work at it. Anyway,
Yeah, it's still too much.
and Winnie immediately forgets about rumors and goes into a dance break. See you next week.
All right, we're gonna call this bar music for where we are. Okay, so Winnie, as you disguise yourself as a humanish person, and you go out towards the bars, the surliest bars near the water.
I don't remember saying surliest bars. I'm okay with it. I'm good with it for sure.
I thought you said you were looking for a rough and tumble bar.
I guess. Yeah, that's true. It's fine.
Is that what we're sticking with?
Yeah. I mean, I guess like
You
a
you
wine
seem
bar
bummed about it.
isn't gonna have like the best rumors probably. But
Yeah,
maybe.
oh, did you hear about Chandra?
Fucking Chandra.
Oh, she
Anyway.
got her teeth done. Oh, as if.
Winnie's first foray into musical composition is going to be a scathing ditty about Chandra and her teeth.
Chandra and her way too straight teeth. Everyone knows you got your nose done too. Okay. So yeah, let's you find a bar near the docks. The Drunken Billy Goat. Great bar.
Perfect.
Yep. And very apropos, they do have a billy goat tied up outside with a little like pan that has beer in it.
Mhm.
The goat does not particularly seem interested, but the windows are open. It is very lively. There is a lot of like shouting, talk more than anything else, music playing, and yeah, a little more rough and tumble than a lot of the other bars. So go ahead and give me a perception check.
You wanted a perception check, which is
I sure did. Sure do.
dirty 20.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
And so you're listening out for your names of your ships, anything that would identify with you, as well as was there anything else that was not specific to you all?
I mean, unless someone's going to randomly mention like Havaruk or like the rings.
Well, I'm also asking about like Shackle Break, and I couldn't remember if you
Oh.
said Shackle Break or because you all had planned to stop there as well.
Ogden.
We'll just say you're looking to
Yeah.
pick up on anything you would
Things-
find pertinent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Proximo, that sort of thing.
Proximo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, you overhear at one table, the name Redemption and Cross's Mercy being mentioned. There are a couple of, looks like dock workers, who are just sitting in a bar, seem to be just idly chattering. They don't seem to be overly secretive. There are a few Nereans at the bar itself. There are 3 of them who seem to be chatting. You do hear the name Shacklebreak come from them. And then you definitely hear the name Scarlett Shores being talked about a lot. So that's at a number of tables. Nothing about Phoenix Landing. Nothing really about any of your other companions. You hear the name Honey, but they're just talking about the food. Yeah, we'll start with there for this bar. So are there any of those conversations you would like to listen in more on?
Not Scarlett, because I kind of assume they're talking about like the hullabaloo at the pit from earlier. Oh my God. Oh, this kitten. I think the ships.
Sure.
Oh, and I know we haven't talked about them recently, but I guess in my list of like keywords, the Tombstone Twins.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's
yeah, so
face.
So you kind of like lean your ear in a little bit more to listen in to the conversation that mentioned the Redemption and Cross's Mercy. You see it's a group of dock workers, and they seem to be kind of just discussing after a long day, like, oh, what business have you been doing lately? Renovations on these 2 ships came up with these strange kinds of damages to them, like melted wood or something. Something crosses mercy, something redemption. Fine ships, they seem to be. And then one of the other ones leans over and goes, I have heard that they are pirate ships. Do they have guns on board? Do they have weapons? You should sneak into the hold and see if you can get something. And he's kind of like, elbowing the guy in the ribs a little bit about that. He's like, no, I would not steal from pirates. Besides, we don't do business with pirates around here. The Empire would certainly know about them. And you again, the guy who's kind of doing the ribbing goes, well, if they are pirates, maybe you could turn them into the Empire. Get yourself a suitable little fortune out of it. Not have to work all these late nights and bullshit. And you see that there is a look on the guy's face, just like, and what if they're not? More trouble than it's worth, I say. Leave them be. They are trying to repair their ships. They will be out of here by tomorrow anyway. Why are you always trying to cause trouble, Karib?
Is Karim wearing any jewelry, like a wedding ring or anything?
No. These are unjeweled individuals that seem like they just got off the job, so I don't think they would be wearing any type of jewelry. But there's no wedding ring, if that's specifically what you're looking for.
Okay. And he's the one causing trouble, right?
He's the one who's doing the ribbing and kind of like, you can tell he's a few drinks in and is just trying to like stir the pot because he finds it entertaining.
Okay. I am going to hit the bar, pay my tab, and send the...
Did you have anything to drink?
I think it's very weird and suspicious to sit in a tavern/bar and not at least nurse a drink or
buy a drink. Sure.
Yeah, like
Okay.
that's weird. You
Sure.
can send me a bill. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Even if it's like, the equivalent of water with a twist of lemon to look like vodka, like whatever.
Mm-hmm. A screwdriver, hold the vodka.
Winnie's not out here like looking to get smashed. Plus, disguise self means that you can't get drunk. Everybody knows that. Okay, I thought it was funny. On her way out, though, she would like to send a nice whiskey to the guy who was like, no, that's a problem. Like, don't
Problems.
be weird. And then a water with a twist of lime or whatever in a
Twist
highball
shit.
glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
To the jerk.
Okay.
And I'll be gone before they even get it, but
We'll call it a silver out of your inventory. You could absolutely just have a water with a twist, and that won't cost you anything. Okay. So, any other conversations you want to lean into in the bar?
not in that bar. No.
Okay. Well, thank you for making me think of another bar. You're kind of just going around like the sailors district, right? Like you're staying near the docks. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the Hungry Goat. I'll head down to the Hungry Goat next.
Nope.
It's a chain.
It's a chain. There's a Buffalo Wild Wings for some reason. I do like that this generator gave me the anxious guinea pig. I'm not using that for this.
Nice.
But know that there is a ship in this world. I don't care if it's a fishing boat, but there is something called the anxious guinea pig. Okay. Let's say the dead pelican is your next bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm
really.
not gonna eat in this one. Something tells
And
me.
outside they have a pelican tied up. But,
Yeah.
Okay. Give me another perception check.
Do you want to roll for me? Oh, thank you. 26.
Don't let the cat eat the dice.
But he wants to.
In this bar, you can see that this is more. How do I describe this? This is a hook bar. Perception check. You note that when you walk in, almost everyone in here, like a biker bar, is wearing the hook emblem. And as you open the door and it kind of swings wide, everyone turns to look at you.
Real talk above the table. We have been told about Panvir's associations. Do I know anything about the Hooks?
I think I would have told y'all definitely know that he's part of the Hooks.
Mhm.
Also, he has his own wanted poster anyway.
Okay.
I don't think I would have mentioned I'm going to go get Hook information. Like, I would have notified folks.
And Winnie's well traveled enough to be familiar at least with like the Hooks being a criminal organization.
Yeah. I mean, I also would assume that Panvir didn't join like a baking association or something, but
Peace Corps.
the Peace Corps. Okay. Winnie is going to say, oops, this isn't my brother's house. Good evening, and turn and leave.
Get a hand on your shoulder that stops you.
Where
are you going so fast?
I don't like places to look at me.
Why don't you come have a drink? We are looking to make more friends tonight.
Are you buying? If you're buying, I'll sit.
Consider it, like, looks over at the bartender, on the house.
That's subtle. I like that. All right.
And you are, like, the hand on the shoulder, like, stays there, kind of guides you to a chair, pushes you down to it. What's your name? Why do you find yourself in this part of town?
I'm Greta. I've been looking for work. And I got tired of looking for work, so now I'm looking for a drink.
Thought you were looking for your brother's house.
No, that was just something I said because it was a very awkward situation where everyone was looking at me, and why would I stick around?
You get a smile. This is a half-elf gentleman who's sitting across from you, and is like, you can see that there's kind of like black, darkish, blue, maybe robes. Hard to tell because there's not a ton of light in here, whereas the other bars were like well lit. This one more has like sketchy lighting, and you can see
I would expect
that
nothing else.
yeah, there is a black line that like goes across where his eyes are, and you can see that he has something like a wrap that would otherwise obscure his face. Again, the hook. He's wearing bracers. He does have, like, you can tell, some light leather armor on. What kind of work are you looking for?
Little of this, little of that. The less manual labor I can do, the better, but, you know, I do what I have to.
No one likes a lazy person.
Nope.
No good for business.
Nope. You gotta beat on some people that need work done for them?
It depends on how committed you are.
Friendly conversation.
Oh, every conversation is friendly here at the Dead Pelican.
Oh, naturally. With a welcoming
What kind
name
of-
like that, it has to be.
Right. With a welcoming name like that, you would be an odd person to just open the door randomly and not know what you were walking into.
Is it so odd? New around here, fresh off a ship? Well, couple days.
What ship?
Do I remember a ship from the harbor? That is not one of ours.
That's a good question. Well, how
not
about a history
warship.
check?
Oh wait, no. I have the keen mind feat. So
Okay.
that means I remember everything I've seen within a month. Nope, that's keen senses. Keen mind, accurately recall anything you've seen or heard within the past month. So I'm gonna Rolodex through my memory and see about anything I heard or saw on the docks when we got there.
What kind of ship are you looking for? Are you looking for, like, because there were a number of Nerian vessels that were more like merchant vessels, or like, they're part of the Empire, but they're not military vessels. There's also just like standard vessels as well, but maybe some that might not have come in recently.
Yeah, something a little more, ideally less Nerian. Although the hooks were friendly with the Empire, weren't they?
I don't think you're sure. You know about that.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
Yeah, I don't think that's come up whether they're friendly or not.
Yeah, so one of the more recent standard, like, something where, like, I could have, like, worked my way across from some other location and...
Sure.
Yep.
The Thunderbolt would be the name. Go ahead and roll me a deception check.
Yeah. That is a 15.
Okay. Not very friendly to lie to a person.
No, but I haven't had my drink yet, so...
Snaps his fingers. Drink is placed in front of you. That is 2 lies, you have told me.
Well, I have my drink now. I didn't have it before.
Why are you here, Greta?
Looking for a drink and information. No, that was a lie.
She says out loud.
Yeah.
You have your drink then.
Is that not what he was accusing me of?
You have your drink? What information can I provide for you then?
If you know of anyone looking for work. Honest is flexible.
Good. Then yes, I do know of some who would be looking for work. How hard are you willing to work, Greta?
You know, pretty darn hard for anyone who's willing to pay on time. Don't pay on time, I do lose a little bit of my ethic, I gotta say. It's a fault of mine. I know,
All right.
I know. My ma used to complain about it too, but I stick to it.
No complaint. No, in fact, I'm very curious. And he pulls out a knife and stands up and throws it into the table right in front of you where it sticks, the hilt actually leaning towards you. I want you to take that, and I want you to kill him. And he points across the bar at one of the hooks whose back is turned towards you, and who turns around at that as like the crowd kind of like looks at him. He failed his last mission. Do you want a job? I will give you a job and 5,000 gold. Kill him.
Yeah. As I pick up the knife,
Mhm.
2 questions that I'm hoping Winnie can suss out at the same time. 3 maybe, but 1 is for me. 1, is there some sort of like... Does he seem to be just bullshitting me about like this guy failing his job? Like, does he seem somewhat truthful in his assessment? And what kind of knife are we talking? Like, is it a nice knife? Is it well balanced?
You can give me a insight check if you would like to see
Yes, please.
the vibe you're getting about this individual you're meant to kill.
That's 25. And
Okay.
my other question was, for me, I guess it's for Winnie too. The hooks, like, we're talking like, it's, if someone said like, hey, I hung out with the hooks last night, it's like a shady group. Like, everyone knows they're a shady group, right? Like, it's not like saying, yeah, I hung out with a bunch of nuns last night, and, you know, you're like, oh yeah, you probably just bowled or something. Like the hooks are like generally nefarious.
So,
or like,
yeah, so like when you say the Eve Walkers, it's like, oh, I was hanging out with Robin Hood and his merry men. Yes, we commit crimes, but for noble reasons. Still, there's like some shade to it. Even if I was going to make it like a biker sort of comparison, I would say like Evewalkers are Hell's Angels. They are notable, but still like have garnered a level of respect.
Way
They
to
still do
alienate
some
our whole viewership. Okay.
shady shit. But then like the hooks are more like the Mongols, where it's just like, oh no, they're like known for straight up crime. Like
Okay.
there's yeah. So yes, if you were to say I hung out with the hooks last night, people would be like, why are you here if you're not like, are you a member now? Did you get that's blood in, blood out? Like it's sketchy as hell to be part of the hooks.
Cool. Great.
Yeah, it was a notable step down for Panveer to join the hooks.
Okay.
Much more of a violent group too, whereas the Evewalkers are much more into like thievery and burglary and like, again, you know, more causes that take skill. It's a lot more a lot more violent on the hook side.
Okay. And the guy that I'm supposed to be murdering, like, aside from probably looking surprised, you know what? It's fine.
He's an Earth Genasi, has a shaved head, is wearing like this similar garb to everyone else, sleeveless, still has the hook, and definitely, but still has the bracers, gloves, and turns with your insight check to address that. You note that when he does say he failed his last job, there are nods of agreement from people in the crowd.
Okay.
So you're kind of getting that like this was payment for this guy that was going to come from somebody.
Yeah.
You just happened to walk through that door,
And
you said you were looking for a
does not have a
job.
brother, as I recall. So,
Well, you would know.
I
so
do
yeah,
not
this guy
remember.
does seem a little surprised, but when he looks at the knife, looks at you grabbing it, he reaches for his. This is a
I'm
dagger.
just throwing it. Like, I'm not waiting for him to. I'm just gonna throw it.
Throw away.
Why do I have a +9? We don't know. Witty's never thrown a dagger before. This'll be
That-
fine.
Dexterity, I suppose.
But you said it's a nice. What?
It's fine. It's a little
Am I
chipped
not-
up.
Rolling to hit? I have to throw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you saying? Yes.
I don't know.
You asked me what type of dagger it was. It's a little chipped up. It's a little worse for wear, but it has a sharp edge to it.
Okay. That is a 12 for 21.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I mean. Oh, I was gonna bardic inspiration myself, but I guess it doesn't matter. And then for damage, I don't know if it matters. Probably matters. That is 8 damage.
Okay. You watch as the dagger sinks cleanly into his shoulder. With a groan, he turns towards you, pulling his dagger, and flips it about, catches it, and goes to stab at you. Since you have gotten a surprise attack, let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Okay. I have 2-weapon fighting, so
Okay.
Do I still get my second weapon on my surprise round?
Do you have a second weapon?
I mean, I'm not gonna go unarmed into any bar.
So what I'm asking is what your second weapon is.
I don't remember.
Well, don't be a smartass about it.
I guess it's a mace. Why do I
I
have
thought
a
you had
mace?
a dagger.
I do have a dagger, but
Do you have another dagger?
I do have another. I have my own dagger, and I have a
Okay.
mace. But
So
you're-
the other thing with two weapon fighting is
I
two weapon fighting comes into play with melee attacks. So you did a ranged attack.
That's
Right,
true.
right.
That's true. All right. That's fair.
So yes, what's your
so
initiative?
It is not good. It is 10 total.
Okay. This guy rolled a 7 + 1, so you still get one more attack on this guy as you have thrown away your weapon.
Well,
You
Yeah.
you could have your mace on you. You could draw your mace and attack.
to be fair, like, I didn't specify I had my mace on me, but, like, also, Winnie's not going into bars, like, unarmed. But, like...
Yeah. You stitch it to cloak. You could hide a crossbow under that. You could have another dagger. You could do a number of things.
Is a
But
crossbow less obtrusive than a mace?
kind of. I don't know if it folds. You're an artificer.
That's true. I apparently don't have a crossbow. How is that possible?
I
I didn't
have
have
no
it
idea.
equipped. That's fine. We're gonna roll with it. What happened to my trident? We don't know. Okay. I will reach. If I was allowed to keep my mace.
Yeah, no one frisked you. No one was trying to see if you were armed. You were placed at a table. If you had a mace at your hip beneath your cloak, you may draw your mace and attack.
They're not very big. It's a 6 total, but it was a nat 1. So I'm guessing
So,
that biffs it. I think I
Would
hit
you
the
like to use an advantage?
No.
Okay.
I think what happens is, like, I go to draw it, but, like, I'm sitting at a table. That's awkward. And, like, I just, like, I bang my hand on the table instead. I can't, like, pull it out. And, yeah, it doesn't even, like, come close to, like, him. It just gets caught.
Anything else for your turn?
With a nat 1, do I still get my second attack? Or my other hand? Alternate
You
weapon?
attack. Well, what's your other hand?
The dagger.
Yes, you may attack with the dagger.
Because I was going to say maces should be one-handed. That is 21.
That will hit.
Why did I put my d4 away? We don't know. That is 5 damage.
Winnie, how do you finish off this bandit?
I think this one gets him in the Earth Genasi heart. Little Jeffrey will be so sad.
Right in little stone heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
A
then
little
I'll
bit of dust comes out of its mouth. Please, Winnie, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'll take my dagger back, and then I'll hand the other dagger back to the guy.
Okay. So Winnie, as a little bit of dust expels out of the mouth of the Earth Genasi, and you pull both daggers from him, watching him just fall to the floor. The music just stops in the bar, and the individual you were talking to gets up, takes the knife from you, and he takes a hook from his belt and hooks it through your cloak at your shoulder. I think I can find you a job. Welcome to the hooks, Greta.
Winnie's just gonna raise her glass and like.
And a
cheers.
cheer erupts from the bar. What have you all done?
Out of everything that was going to happen tonight, Winnie joining the hooks was not one of them.
It's like being a disciple of Curlback. Oops, I'm in a gang. But I got us some money.
5K.
That's pretty good.
One schmuck. Great job.
Oops, I'm in
Anyway.
a gang.
Yeah. I need that shirt.
Okay, but is anything more Winnie than oops, I'm in a gang?
No, 100%.
I went out to a bar and accidentally joined a criminal organization.
You know, the organization Acacia has a grudge again.
Yeah, but now you
Oh,
got
no,
an
I'm in the
inside-
mafia now.
Jeez.
They won't make me a main man because I'm not Sicilian. Okay.
OMG.
Tune
Well,
in next week.
yeah, I think that is where we're going to stop, because I need to figure out if Marcus is going to die. I need to plan out how Winnie somehow joined the antagonists, and I don't know.
Greta.
Greta's joined-
Greta. Yeah. Oops, I did it again.
How was Mayor the most like Mayor had a meeting with these assholes, and somehow that was the most successful part.
Oh, man.
I tried to leave the bar. I was going to let them have a nice evening amongst themselves.
Nobody likes being stared at.
No, it seemed perfectly reasonable to me.
Perfectly reasonable.
That was the first lie I told, was the brother's house thing. I
It
get
was.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it canceled out because I told the truth about it after the fact, but
Nice roundabout though for that answer.
I know, right? We really circled back on that
This
one.
is the only we looked at. All right.
Not a lie.
Thank you all for joining us for another session of Horizons Call. I'm not exhausted. It's fine. I love these people. I love playing with them. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Horizons Call. Thank you for tipping. Those of you who have tipped, it's very much appreciated. You can always do so through our pally.gg. Anything that you are willing and able, both those qualities being important together, to tip this wonderful cast and crew can actually impact our game as well. Look out for more ways you can impact in the future because you all have been so incredibly generous so far. It's very much appreciated. Thank you to my wonderful cast. I'm going to go around and have these lovely people say a little bit more about themselves. Then I will do my spiel, some channel news, and let you all go for the night. But until next time, I can need to think up a title for next time. Thank you for joining us for Horizons Call. Mare, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Hi, I'm Mare. You can find me on all applicable social media at Archmage of Dice. This is the only show I'm doing right now. However, Derek or Evo, I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but I will also be co-hosting the Sword and Tea of Printweaver as we talk to the writer of that really cool game system and their upcoming book.
Fantastic. Yes, we will absolutely be talking about that. We have a number of Sword and Teas coming up, which are very fun. Eva.
hi, it's me, Eva, not affiliated with any gangs at the moment. That's not my voice. It's fine. You can find me mostly here, working on various and sundry projects, both on and behind the screen, so to speak, including the Sword and Tea with N.L. Morrison, and this coming Saturday with Kristen Randall. I think Derek's going to hit like all the details of all that, so I will move on from there. And working on some games that I need to get scheduled and cast and all that sort of stuff. So, I think that's about it at the moment. Sure can't think of anything else. Probably something super important that will hit me at 3 a.m. It's fine.
All good. We'll get it all planned out. Thank you, Eva. Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl. You can find me at Mikyl Sandoval, BlueSky, Twitter, Instagram, more so Instagram. I post some art on there. I'm working on some art right here. Maybe some, I don't know if you see a half horse lady. That's what I'm working on right now. And that's about it. Thanks for being here. And also, sorry I was late.
No apologizing.
No apologies. Special thank you to Mikyl, as always, for joining us halfway through. Not as always, but as always for the artwork that he has been so incredible to share with us for Horizons Call, for many of the games you see here on Sword and Key. Again, follow Mikyl. It's just Instagram to see more of his artwork at MIKYLSANDVAL. Next up, Kaila.
Hi, hello, my name is Kaila. I have been your Storm Sorcerer Scarlett Shores for the evening. You can find me on socials at KMC, all spelled out, @_ if you can't find it there. You'll find me eventually. I don't post much. It's just... you don't need to hear what goes through my brain.
I heavily disagree, and a special shout out as always to Kayla's dog, Joy, right in the background. Hi, Joy Bean, on her throne of pillows. Or not even pillows, but just stuffies.
Stuffies. They're
animals.
all my stuffies.
They're all Joy's stuffies. Again, thank you to these wonderful people for joining me once again. I could not do this with any other cast. They're fantastic. And throw absolute curveballs at me that I will have to spend all week trying to uncurve. I'm Derek Sword. I use he, him pronouns. I've been your GM for this game for many games here on Sword and Key. Yes, Sword is my real last name. Yes, it's awesome. No, you can't have it. If you are looking for me personally, I guess you can find me. It's DSword16 on most social medias, but I highly recommend you check out Sword and Key's stuff. You can find all the Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. You can find all of our ongoing charity campaigns, including the one for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund which is still ongoing, as well as any others that might be attached to any games and the incentives for them. You can also find the Pally for Horizons Call. You can also join our Discord and hang out with these cool folks and many, many more and chat about our games, other stuff going on in the world. Just talk with cool folks about cool things. You can find all our socials there as well. Most of our socials are sword_and_key. Twitter, Instagram, BlueSky, all that stuff. You can find the podcast that I do with my friend LD, Monster Crush, which comes out bi-weekly, although we are pan-monster romantic. So you can check that out. We basically talk about cryptids, creatures, miscellaneous monsters in a fun and sexy way, and talk about how smoochable Mothman is. So you can find that wherever podcasts are found. If you enjoy it, give it a review. It's much appreciated. Other things, looking at the calendar coming up here. We had earlier today our first Sword and Tea of March. Happy March, by the way. With Nick from Gehenna Gaming, the creator of Eldritch Automata. So if you want to check that out, you can always see on our VODs or check it out on YouTube. Automata. Eldritch Automata. It's a fantastic game that I'm doing a 2-shot of. We did one last Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We're doing one next Saturday, the second half of it, at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It is essentially giant robots fighting eldritch horrors that are biblically like demons and angels, and it's revelations with giant robots. It's incredible. Highly recommend checking it out. It's a fantastic game that's still in production as well. Horizons Call will be back every Saturday for the foreseeable future. We'll let you know when that happens to not be the case at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Trophy Dark is going to start now on the 10th. Is that correct? Yes, not not tomorrow, but the week after. Yes. So Trophy Dark will start on the 10th of March at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Check that out. That will have Eva running production and will be run by the wonderful Anik. Next thing on the calendar, if you do join our Discord, you can also hang out for our Sword and Key movie nights. We do them every other week. The next one coming up on the 8th, 6 p.m. Pacific time, is the new Super Mario Brothers movie. I tried doing the older one from the 80s, and it's not streaming anywhere. That's why physical media is important. But it is going to be Mario Day, March 10th, so we're doing the Mario movie in honor of that. Next episode of Monster Crush will release also on the 10th. It's also daylight savings time when daylight savings time starts, so bear that in mind. We are looking to have a Baldur's Gate game streamed on the channel. The plan right now is maybe for the 12th. We'll see how that kind of works out. More details to come about that, but something that we've been working on for a little while that we're excited about. The 16th is a very important day to the channel, as it is not only the incredible Mare, our mod, our player, our GM, not only their birthday, it is also the birthday of another GM who's going to be starting a game here in the relatively near future, Alex, who you might have seen in Harbies. We also that day have a 10 a.m. Sword and Tea with Kristen Randall, author of the No Girlfriend Rule. And then our next Sword and Tea after that is going to be on the 21st. That is a Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And that is with NL Morrison. Again, Mare will be co-hosting that as well. And that is for NL Morrison and the TTRPG Print Weaver. The next Sword and Key movie night is going to be Spirited Away. That is on the 22nd. And that's pretty much going to get us through the end of the month. So we'll have more applications out soon. We'll have more cool stuff coming your way. So check out the Discord for that stuff first, and social media second. But Discord's always going to be the first place to get the news. Yes, I did hit all the letters in Sandoval. Thank you, Eva. I do it every time. We are going to be rating Roll for Felicity, who is also raising money for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. So go spread some positivity over there. If you can, it's a great cause to donate to. So please consider doing so. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Fair winds, following seas, brave mariners. We have so much more bullshit.